let's see here. 79% chance to hit, and fire. And you miss. Great. How did you miss? Okay, now you're being eaten by a snake. See what happens when you don't follow my orders? You deserve this. Don't pretend you don't deserve this. I can't help but find it funny while I'm planning some late review videos about sequels, I find myself addicted to one. But then again, most games these days are sequels, so I guess it's not that surprising. I never played the original XCOM PC games, but I did check out the modern reboot by Firaxis Games in 2012, after I heard they had patched out all the bugs, of course. I can't say I'm particularly good at tactical combat games, but I do like my turn-based strategy, and this game fit that niche nicely. XCOM 2 brings some needed improvements and new ideas to the series, though it has its own share of issues. The story this time is a bit wonky since most players defeated the alien invasion in XCOM the first. XCOM 2 is a what-if plot where the heroes lost, and the aliens now occupy Earth, presenting themselves as false liberators. Luckily enough, people realize this is bunk, what with the secret death camps that turn humans into smoothies, and you reprise your role as the commander leading a resistance movement. The gameplay is comfortably familiar for returning players, just the roles are slightly reversed. The XCOM base is mobile and on the run from the aliens, and you get resources by contacting various resistance groups around the world. Once you get your feet wet with a few missions, you get to the main thrust of the game. The aliens are building some kind of mega weapon project thingy which puts a countdown timer on the plot. If the aliens succeed and fill up the bar, it's game over. You can slow them down by completing plot missions and finding and blowing up alien facilities, in between supply raids and odd jobs for the resistance. Actually, countdown timers seem to be the running theme of XCOM 2. Every other mission involves getting to an object before the aliens destroy it, getting someone to the exit point before the aliens overwhelm you, or just getting to a computer before it spontaneously combusts for some reason. This doesn't make a lot of sense combined with the game's concealment system. What happens is most missions start with your team being inserted covertly, so they can move around without the enemy seeing them until you're ready to strike with an ambush, which may or may not work based on your team's aim and pure luck. If the aliens don't know you're there, why is the plot object set to self-destruct? Apart from that, most of the new additions are quite welcome, like the new Ranger class, which gives your units a melee attack option. Nothing beats running up and slicing a sectoid in half with a sword. There are still a lot of lingering problems left over from the first game, such as animations and characters taking way too long when all you want is for the next turn to happen, and aliens still get a reaction move when they see you. But overall, I'd say it's a worthy sequel that just doesn't go quite as far as it could have. I splurged on the Season Pass when XCOM 2 came out, so all the DLC is available, but it's a bit of a mixed bag. Anarchy's Children just adds a bunch of ugly customization options, and they get mixed in whenever you get a new random recruit, so there's a chance you'll start the game with some dork in a top knot and booty shorts. Ugh. Alien Hunters is okay, I guess. The new weapons are pretty meh, only really useful for fighting the new alien rulers, which are just a pain in the half. Encountering one of these things always means you're going to end up with a few soldiers in the hospital, if not outright dead, because they have reactions, which let them move when it's not their turn. I had to look up how to disable DLC packs from the game, because after trying it once I thought I had turned it off for my next campaign, only for one of the rulers to pop up in a mission and thoroughly wreck my squad. Shen's Last Gift is the best DLC out of the bunch, in my opinion. Great voice acting, some nice character moments, and you get a new mech unit class to toy around with. I would also recommend browsing the Steam Workshop for any mods that help speed up the game flow, such as skipping unnecessary and repetitive animations or close-up scenes. It just improves the game overall. I'm going to give XCOM 2 a recommendation if you need a turn-based strategy fix, and Civilization 6 isn't quite scratching that itch. It's one of those games I like to call a podcast game, where you can just turn off the game music, run it in the window, and catch up on a podcast, Netflix, or marathon some YouTube videos. Not that there's anything wrong with the music, of course, it just doesn't really stand out for me. Pro tip, almost anything by the Proto Men works as a good music filler for this game. Have fun, you guys.